Hey everyone, welcome back to Gone to Florida. Our latest adventures to Universal Studios was actually just a one-day trip where we spent 12 hours in the park. So we drove down 12 hours, spent 12 hours at the park, and then drove back. So we didn't get to do everything that we always do, but we did get to do a lot of the fun things that we love about Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. So today we have the top 12 things that we did in 12 hours while we were there. So we always drive through the night to save the cost of a hotel. And when we got there, we valet parked the car. Now we have annual passes, the Premier Pass. We've never used this because we do live so far away. We normally stay in a hotel, but it was free with our Premier Pass. Now it would have been $75 otherwise, so we would not have been valeting, but oh my goodness, we got there. And it was so amazing. We were able to get valeted right away. And when we went back at park close to get our car, we waited about 5 minutes. It was so worth it. The next great thing about it, as always, was early park admission. Because we have a pass, or if you're staying at one of their hotels, you get early park admission. So we got to get in right away and get started on the rides and just walking around. And it was Islands of Adventure's day to be open for early park, where it opens an hour before regular ticket holders can enter. And so that is where we started our day, and it was awesome. And it's always just a little bit less crowded. It's not quite so hot. And so it's just a really good time to get there. And what we do a lot of times is we will go to Islands if it's open early. And then once Islands opens and we walk around there for a little while, we might ride one ride. We will hop onto the Hogwarts Express and take it over to Universal Studios. And we do this because then when Universal Studios opens, nobody is over there. We get off the Hogwarts Express, we go over to Diagon Alley, and you can get immediately on Gringotts if you want. Diagon Alley is one of the most crowded places in either park. And so when we get there early, we're able to go through with virtually no people in Diagon Alley. So that is something that we love to do. Anytime we can get Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade with a low crowd, we are all about it. So the second great thing that we did, the third great thing after EPA and valet parking was, of course, the Hogwarts Express, because we normally do walk from park to park because the Hogwarts Express, usually a little bit of a wait, depending on the time of day. It could be really long, and we don't really mind the walk. So being there just 12 hours, though, we utilized it twice, going back and forth from the park. So we got to see it both directions. So you get a different show each time. You get to see both of the different stations at Hogsmeade and at King's Cross. So it was just a phenomenal experience as always. And it's also nice because you get to sit down, you get a cool down in the Hogwarts Express, and it's always just a fun time, and it's just so very canon to Harry Potter, and we loved it. So that was definitely something in our 12 hours that we loved. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the fourth thing that we absolutely loved was just Diagon Alley. We always love Diagon Alley, but we never hardly catch it with this few people. It was just so great to be able to, look at that. Look, there's like 5 people in Diagon Alley, and that never happens. So it was just really cool to get there super early, hop off the train, and go over there, especially since we didn't have much time. We were able to just walk right to Gringotts. We were able to go in and out of all of the stores without having to wait or feel like we were too cramped, and it was just amazing. And then, of course, the fifth thing that we loved, as always, the Coca-Cola Freestyle Cups. We had our cup, we activated it, and we were able to get refills all day long at all of the different Freestyle machines, which are all over the park. Of course, water is always free, but we're huge on Diet Coke, so we get a lot of that as well. And we just have that with us all day long, and it's such a good buy, and we just love it because it was super hot. I know that I've been there on days, we've definitely been on days when it's just as hot, but it just felt so hot that day. And then we loved E.T. We always love E.T., but it was super just, very nostalgic. And we right here, even before we got to like the gift shop, we could smell it coming. That famous E.T. smell. We could smell it, and the line wasn't very long. And they were actually saying our names at the end. Like sometimes you get when they say your names, like bye, and they say your name. Sometimes they don't, or they don't get it right, but we're doing it today, so it was really cool, and so it was really fun just to ride E.T. And again, it's always fun to ride E.T., but we just got to stand in the perfect amount of queue, enough queue to get the queue and appreciate it, but we didn't have to wait too long. but I definitely, that was one of the favorite things that we did. And then, oh my goodness, holy cow, there was the Minions Cafe, which I want to say I was not all that excited about because I wasn't a Minions fan. I am now a Minions and Despicable Me fan just because of this land at Universal. I've been learning more about it and getting into it, which the ride has always been there, but this land is just something special. And we went to the Minions Cafe. I didn't have the highest of hopes just because I'm a super picky eater. I'll be honest, I just got the mac and cheese. You see here we also got a sandwich, and the tots were highly favored. The little rock that we got, Otto's Pet Rock, it was absolutely awesome. But the macaroni cheese was delicious. We had also a grilled cheese that was delicious. And just the store was so stinking cute. So the whole land was just so amazing. It was just so cool to sit in there. And they were so fast. Like, we didn't even get a chance to get up and look around before they had our food to us. And we went right at lunchtime, like right when it opened. And it was just awesome. And then right along with the Minion Cafe was the Villain Con, which we had ridden once before since it opened, but they are working some of those kinks out. And this ride is basically what I thought it would be. Like, it works the way that I thought it would be. You stand on this conveyor belt, you shoot at screens. Really didn't think it was going to be my kind of ride, but I just love it. It's so fun. It's not really my type of ride. I wouldn't by any means say it's like my favorite ride in the park or anything, but it's super fun. And we actually, in 12 hours, we rode it 3 times. We went by, and like one time the line was 5 minutes, and the line moves super fast, and the queue's really cute. And so it was really cool to get to ride Villain Con. It was still in technical rehearsal, but I do think they have an opening date for very, very soon. And so it's definitely something that you should check out. The next thing that we love, of course, is Spider-Man. We got to ride Spider-Man, which I think is one of the best dark rides. If you want to know what a dark ride should look like, then you have to ride Spider-Man. And it is always a good time. So when we were able to hop on that, we were super excited. We love the queue. Like I said, we love just the 3D element of it. It has heat sensors that like throw heat at you. It has water. It's just a super fun time. So we were so glad we got to do that. Also, I don't know what it was because it was a Wednesday. I don't know that it was any day super important, but there were more meet and greets out that day than I think I've ever seen. Like, I think we literally could have went up to any meet and greet in the park that day. You had #Panda, the Scooby-Doo gang was out, the Transformers, they were all out that day. Beetlejuice was out, the little guy, was it Rafiki? I can't remember, but they were all out. They were all everywhere, and it was so awesome to see them all. We also just love being there at nighttime. Being there at nighttime is so cool. We have the lights, we have just the calmness of it all, just looking out and seeing everything is absolutely fantastic. We love, the crowds thin out a little bit. The heat goes down a little bit, and it's time when you start kind of going in shops. We don't like to shop early because we don't want to carry it around all day. So you've ridden what you want to ride, and you just kind of relax. So being there at night, and there's really not one place that's perfect. They're all perfect. I try to think of my favorite place at night, and I really just can't because they're all so great. But that is one of our favorite places. And then just the number one thing that we love about going here is just being with our family. There is something for everybody all the time. And it's just nice to go. We try new foods. Sometimes we eat the same things. Sometimes we, try new shops or rides or things, but a lot of it's just going back to what we always do. And it's just so nice to go and be together and enjoy that time. And so we are so thankful that we got to do that. And we crammed it in, man. I mean, it was a fast trip, but it was worth it. And I know it's one that we are going to remember forever. And so again, if you ever get a chance to go here, it's definitely worth it. I would not recommend, if you've never been before, trying to put it all in one day for 2 parks. There's way too much to see, but just know that if you want to do it, if you've done it before and you just say, hey, I'm really feeling it, I really want to go today, you can definitely cram so much in to the days. So if you have a trip like that where you've done something in one day and you have highlights, please share those with us, or just your highlights from the parks, what you think makes these parks or any theme park good, really. If you will share that in the comments below, and we would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and continue to watch our videos and let us know things that you want to know about and what trips in Florida you would like to see us take. Thank you again for joining us on our Gone to Florida adventures, and remember, never stop exploring.